office. There, that's better. Hey, howdy, everyone. It's me, Medicated Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Valley Found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And I didn't think I was going to find any records, and then I did. It's almost a complete copy of last week's intro. This week, so what happened today? Well, we went out and got in some supplies before the big snowstorm hits this weekend. 2 to 4 inches, oh my God. Right, we're right on the edge of it and everything. But it's going to be just freezing, and it could just, who knows? Anything could happen, and it probably will. So apparently we only have about 20 years before 40% of the workforce is replaced by artificial intelligence. It's pretty much what we got now, but apparently it's going to be different. In 20 years, 40% of the people will be going like, what am I going to do? Well, I think rioting and war will be a good idea. I'm going to put all my money into stocks that support rioting and wars. So, do you have anything cheerful to talk about? Yes, I do, in fact. MRSA. I got tested for that again finally, and everything's good. Both me and the wife are free of MRSA. I think I was carrying bacteria around in my nose for years. Don't know if it was MRSA or not, but my immune system must actually have been in pretty good shape to fight it the way it did. And you know, the doctors didn't. It's kind of disconcerting that all of them, all the medical professionals that I went to see, like, didn't have any idea until the last guy who had an idea, and then that was it. We took care of it. That's nice. That's good news. So you don't have to turn to video now. You can just stay here because it's like, oh, geez, if I watch this too long, will I catch anything? No, you won't. Everything's good. So went to an antique store today, like I said, getting in the provisions before the snowstorm hit. We went to La Rosa's, and I was just like, I don't think I'm going to get the chicken wings again. Then I did. There's something about the chicken wings with the garlic sauce. And they have such good salads there at La Rosa's. This is a local chain. I think it's local. Maybe they moved out like down to south to Louisville. Or, well, that was pretty exciting, was it? But then the fun thing was, as we got in the truck, my wife says, your driving's not as good as it used to be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I tried to pull over the curb to get out of the parking lot. It's starting the last time I talked to you about driving. And and it's starting, that's right. But do you give up? No, you don't give up until, I have to tell this story. This is this old story. So I was working in downtown Covington. I used to park my truck. It was, yeah, that's right, it was a gray truck. Pretty sure. In a public lot, right? And I could see the truck from the window. It doesn't have anything to do with the story. But anyway, I came out to get in the truck one day, and there's a big crease in the side of it, and there's white paint. And I'm like, what the heck? So I know there's a senior citizens next door to that, right? So there's the first clue is to look for a white car, which happens to be parked right next to my truck, with gray paint on a part of the car. And I find the white car is right next to the truck. There's gray paint on it. It's the car that hit my truck, parked right next to me. So I said, well, geez, you know, I can't let this go, right? And people like, well, I'll tell the rest of the story, forget that. So I call the cops, and the cop comes, and I say, no, it's next door. It's somebody in the Senior Citizen Center. We go over, we go downstairs, and there are these 3 or 4 old ladies, like knitting quilts for, you know, Vietnam veterans or something. They're doing so I'm like, oh, you know, I was kind of starting to feel bad about this, but anyway, the lady, who owns the white car? And this one old lady goes, oh, because you hit this gentleman's truck. And she says, no, I didn't. She said, yes, you did. She said, no, I didn't. I said, well, there's gray paint on the body part of the front of your car. We can send it to the lab and have a test. That was probably one of those, you know, cop threats, so they would never do. It would never be worth their time. And the old woman goes, oh, well, maybe I hit him. A lying old person, you know, you gotta, as an old person, you gotta keep, you know, you gotta keep your defenses up, and you can't admit to anything. Nobody can admit to anything at any time. We've all learned to do that, right? Even though it's blatant that it's never mind. Go on to the records, right? Oh, so then I'm like, I tell the story and people say, "Yeah, you could treat an old lady like that." Well, I think that she was pretty wily, but do you start parking by feel, like trying to run over the curb in the parking lot as you're leaving roses, and it's probably time for you to stop driving. Like that's going to happen. Anyway, let's go. Let's go right to the records. All right. I got a couple of 10-inchers. I went to an antique store I've gone to plenty of times. It's probably the closest one to where I live. And I never find anything there. But it seems like recently that records have dried up in thrift stores more, probably about 50 to 65% more, less records than I would have found years past in any thrift store. And in Goodwill's, none of them, unless they started doing it again. I don't know, haven't been in one for a long time because they just even took the racks out that they used to keep the records in. So, but now in antique stores, I'm seeing more dealers putting records in their booths than I used to. I don't know if that's a trend or whatever, but there you have it. So, a couple of 10-inchers for not too bad of money, real sweet cover art. Here's Cugat, featuring Cugat and his orchestra. I think it's like, that was $3 right there, right? That's not too bad. I think this was $5, and it's another wonderful cover, Xavier Cugat Mambo record. Mambo's worth more than apparently the Cha-Cha, I think. The Rumba, Brazil's on this. But Mambos are always fun records. Park Avenue Mambo, and like I've said before, Cugat is probably the best when it comes to Latin music, pop Latin music. Okay, great. Those were fun finds. Thunderball, Goldfinger, a budgety budget, a wine coat, other James Bond favorites done by the Cheltenham Orchestra. It'll be horrible, but you got to buy it because it's James Bond, right? Right. It's the first 12-inch put out by the Australian Jazz Quintet on Bethlehem. Well, it's the first 12-inch. According to the information on the back, this is a DJ copy, 1956. It's not too bad a shape, taped edges, but that was a fun find. And I had to buy this. Why? Just because of the cover. No, he's out of Walton, Kentucky. It's a local record. I didn't even notice it when I picked it up. 1985. That's fun. Out of Walton, Kentucky. It's a lounge record, which I think is probably country western. Pretty sure. It's Dennis Taylor. Yes, it's autographed by Dennis. Oh man, look at the shirt he's wearing. So I'm seeing if I could tell who pressed it. Queen City album. There's writing, of course you've noticed that, right? And the matrix information, of course you all know that. Handwritten, when they press these things, they handwrite information. Usually bigger labels would stamp it, but most of the small stuff is all handwritten with like a hot pen or something. I don't know how they did it. Anyway, there you go. Terrific cover. I remember Tahiti, Eddie Lunn and his Tahitians on Tahiti Records, out of Tahiti. All the song titles are written in Tahitian. I think I've got this one, but I picked it up again. Why? Because it was $3. Reuben Abner and the Back to Cavalry Trio, local, Waynesville, Ohio. Well, it's probably locally pressed, I think. Quincy Jones, here it is, when he had his own orchestra apparently. Here he is, Quincy Jones' orchestra at Newport 61, Newport Jazz Festival, Quincy Jones. A Dixieland Jazz album with a terrific cover. The Cheerleaders sing Dixieland Jazz under the direction of Sid Robbins and the Post Paraders on Carlton. Fun cover. Also interesting cover you don't often see. Negative space, we say in the art design, graphic business. Negative space, all that negative space, and then in the corner it's Shelley Flint. Whoever she is, I don't know. If I read the whole back cover, I probably would be able to figure it out. On Valiant, just distributed by Warner Brothers. I think that'll be an interesting record. Probably won't feature anything from it, but I mean, now and out of a booth that always has high price records. They priced this at I don't know, $3. So it's a promotional album for Colgate Palmolive. Palmolive? I haven't said that in a long time. Household Products Division, Opportunity Unlimited. That must be the name of the group on the cover. They've got these dresses on. I've seen this dress on a Kugat cover. There's a model on one of the later Kugat albums that's wearing the exact same dress. Pretty sure, go-go dress. Lyrics and original music by Robert Hayes. So 1965, Opportunity Unlimited. I don't know, maybe I'll feature something from that, not sure. The House of Prayer Singers, also out of Waynesville, House of Prayer. Anyway, I won't spend time trying to find out where that was manufactured. And another great, it's not gospel, it's just a Dixieland album. It's Ken Darvin and his Salty Dogs in the Glory Land. Terrific cover. And this is interesting. A few more left. A few more records left, but I never really cared that much for Dixieland, but I've been finding a lot of it recently, and just early jazz, and some of it's really super good. I'm just starting to enjoy it more, Dixieland more, for some reason. You know, just tastes sort of shift, and so now I'm just, and the covers on many of the Dixieland albums are just terrific. Really a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, on a budget, modern, super budget, modern out of California, it's Rene Amont and the Internationals, Continental Cocktails. Don't think I have this one, not sure, but I had to pick it up. Only a few dollars, and also for a few dollars, it's Tits from Fair Lady on Halo. Just, it's got to be super horrible, but the cover's kind of cheap and fun and cheesy and fun. Pick that up. And last but not least, another Mission Impossible album theme, spy, secret agent themed record on custom, the Larry Schaefer Orchestra, which rings a bell. I think it is who he is. I've got another record of his blog, which is really great, so I have high hopes that this will be also good. Don't know for sure. That's right. Thanks very much for stopping by. I might chop the video right here and go forward, or I might think of something to end the video with. That could be fun, because now I have so much more energy now that I'm running at 80%. I figure I'm running 80% with the left shoulder starting to go. I'm back up to 80% and doing pretty good. Doing real good in yoga. Of course, I do it almost every day. Been missing some days lately, but still doing pretty good. Had a new yoga teacher this week who kicked our butts. I've never done so many planks in my life. Unfortunately, my shoulders were able to deal with it, but it's just super hard. So we're hoping the old, my regular, never mind. Tomorrow, the shit hits the fan, and that's when I should have made the video, because I'll have stories about, unless I stay home, and I should, I can't, never mind. Turn the thing off, stop blabbing, and go on. That's right.